Ladies and gentlemen, return your radios to their upright position. Prepare for takeoff with America's First Lady of Liberty. A voice, not left, not right, but truth-centered. Now, from the live, free, or die sovereign state of New Hampshire, raise up another rousing cheer for that doctor of digital privacy. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Katherine Albrecht.
Hey, guys. The world is a crazy place. I got a question for you. Would you like to live in it forever? I'll tell you, that seems to be the question nowadays. We have Time magazine with a recent cover story, recent headline story. In fact, my mother, I think I've told this before on the air, but my mom thought that I would like a subscription to Time magazine. Actually, I think she got like a free one, like somebody subscribed to one and got a free additional subscription. So it's been landing on my doorstep. What is it, like every week? It seems like it's like every day there's a new Time magazine here. And I kind of flip through it, and then I sort of toss it over to the side because I don't like reading Time magazine. But anyway, this one even caught my eye. And here was the headline on the cover of the Time magazine with a very creepy picture of the back of someone's shaved head with a metallic, I don't know, it looks like some kind of a data cable inserted directly into the brainstem of this person, and then a little green blinking light right above it. And the headline read, or the cover story read, 2045, with a little colon, the year man becomes immortal. 2045. Hey, you think you're going to make it another 30-so years? Well, if you do, then if you make it to 2045, and probably most people listening to the show will make it another 30 years, let's all hope we do, then that will become the year, according to Ray Kurzweil, one of the futurists that I've been following for quite some time. According to Ray Kurzweil, that is the year that we will become immortal. Well, joining us to talk about the desirability of such a thing and maybe the creepability of such a thing is my good friend Greg Nikolettos. He is from We the People Will Not Be Chipped down in Australia. He joins us from Australia this morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, whenever it is, wherever you are, to talk about this story. So, hey, listen, Greg, thank you. Thanks for being with us. Talk to us about this idea that Ray Kurzweil, and he's got a new movie out, too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. The new movie is actually called Transcendent Man, and I'd recommend all listeners to actually watch the movie. It is an extremely slick production, and it does actually showcase to the end user at the end of the day the pitch that the Human Plus or Singularity movement is actually using for the populace. And quite often, when you actually watch the movie, you think to yourself, what are the actual motivating drivers behind this? There are a few. There's obviously, the fear of people actually dying, which Ray Kurzweil states quite clearly during the actual movie. But at the same time, the flip side to this, when you actually start looking at, the likes of Professor, Hugo de Harris and Ray Kurzweil and Ben Gertzwell and the like, none of these people are actually uptaking the technology that they actually are requesting us to take. So I haven't seen a single Human Plus advocate get microchipped as yet. Obviously only on the lower level, how the likes of people opening up doors and switching off lights and the like. But the true prophets of AI, or the ones that want to usher in, the robotic revolution, if you like, they've pretty much sat on the fence and just proposed ideas to us. And at the same time, none of them have actually uptaken even a VeriChip at the very least. So, yeah, the movie itself is definitely worth watching. And, it goes along the lines of, the gentleman has 24 patents, he's a multimillionaire, he's, an MIT graduate, and if you were an end user with low critical thinking, you would think, this is just the natural progression of man. So,
what is Ray Kurzweil's sort of driving thesis through here? The thesis is that at some point we will reach this point that he refers to as the singularity. He had a big book out called The Singularity is Near. And what does he mean by singularity? That's kind of a strange word. Singular meaning as in one. I've seen this elsewhere, and we talked about it in our book, Spychips.
It is actually a term that's lifted from physics, but he's created it almost as his own little genre, if you like, where to him, what the singularity is like a future period where the technical advances are basically becoming so rapid and the impacts on society are becoming so great that if you do not actually merge into the machine or enhance yourself utilizing technology, you will basically be left behind. So similar along the lines of George Bush's No Child Left Behind in education, well, if we don't merge with the robots, well, I'll be left behind. And I'll be left behind, unfortunately, Catherine. I'm happy to be left behind.
Yeah, you know what? I am too, because I think what lies forward in that left behind point is horrifying. In fact, I once had an awful nightmare that I was living in this sort of post-apocalyptic world, and there was not only was there no love, but in this awful nightmare, I was hiding because I knew if I encountered another human being that person would be monstrous. And so I was, and there were no trees, there were not even any weeds. There was nothing left that had been created by the hand of God. It was all stuff made by humans, but it was such a nightmare. And when I woke up, I went, oh, good, I'm out of there.
Well, it's funny you bring this up because the movie, The Transcendent Man, actually opens up with the driver or the motivator of what has made Ray Kurzweil, regardless of the propaganda machine that is behind him, regardless of the people that are funding these ideas. The point is, in the beginning of the actual movie, he actually states that he has this recurring dream where he feels, hopelessly abandoned and struggles to find someone, a friend, anyone, but is basically left in this place of pure hopelessness, a place with no love, and that is his interpretation of death. So,
but hang on a second, because you just described hell.
Correct. And that's the
So no wonder he's so afraid of dying, because he doesn't believe that there's anything on the other end of dying other than hell. Exactly.
And to him, this is the funny thing. It is when the question has actually been posed in the question of could there actually be a creator, he views creation, if you like, or the hand behind it as being intelligence. So for him, seeding the universe with intelligence would be the greatest thing that man could actually do. So in reality, it's not really about him understanding God. It's really a case of him going, I have negated God, science has refuted God, I accept the Darwinism approach. And to be a human plus advocate, or one that moves towards the singularity, you really do have to adopt Darwinism, so you have to believe you have come from an ape, etc. So that's unfortunately the scientific model. So for him, you can't prove God in a lab, but we can prove that Moore's law continues to increase, and technology keeps increasing. So the projections that he makes, he does have actual critics as well that come from the same field, that state a lot of his projections seem to fit in precisely to the point where he's just about to die. So when he says that, by 2029 we'll have, machine intelligence that will surpass, machine intelligence will surpass human intelligence, and then, we will become immortal by 2040, 2045, the dates do change. It is very much based around Ray. So on one hand, you have a guy who is extremely, talented as a musician, as an inventor, as a patent holder, and on the flip side, you have a very sad, frail little man who is just traumatized by the fact that he will die one day. And I mean, look, I'm in the sports supplement industry, and I take a lot of, tablets during the day, but I don't take 200 a day. I mean, that's just...
200 tablets a day, yeah.
Yeah, look, I mean, there's a case of, supplementing your health, and there's a case of, overwhelming paranoia, isn't there?
Absolutely. Wow. All right, we're talking about Ray Kurzweil. He's got a new movie out. I've talked about him before on the show. If you'd like to check out the website, the trailer for the new film, it's called Transcendent Man, and the website, transcendentman.com. We're speaking with Greg Nikolettos, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.